Hi class, I am working on a checkpoint for you right now, and I'm going to freeze this code. It's just turning into Friday evening here, so I'm going to freeze this. I'm going to post this on the template Python midterm checkpoint, and I'll make an announcement about that. But let me show you what is going on here. And if you have already created your midterm, perhaps you can help your classmates out. The main thing is that you understand how to use classes in Python. So if you don't have a perfect program for the midterm, by Monday, that's fine. That's fine. But the main thing is that you understand. You have the start of understanding object-oriented programming in Python. So with that, let's make sense of classes in Python. So simply, I have three classes here, right? I have a main class, and the main Python class, this is going to be my driver class. That means that this is where I will create this is where I will create objects from other classes. And the other classes, of course, are animal and hyena. So once you are comfortable with this code, you can make lion, tiger, and bear classes from the hyena class, and then that should be just about the midterm. Then in main, you would access the text file of arriving animals, and the first thing you would need to find out, or your code would need to find out, is what species the animal is. So you take your first line and ask what that is. If it's a hyena, then you create a hyena class, and then you parse that line into the data elements that are required in the hyena class. And for example, and I'll show you those in a second. And then you have to output them into a habitat. So the habitat cannot contain lions and hyenas, because bad things would happen to the hyenas, or bad things would happen to the lion. Depends on how many hyenas we have, right? Yeah, I've seen the nature videos, but anyway. So how these classes work, let's start with the animal class that you guys have hopefully been looking at and tinkering with. So the animal class has a static variable here, static member variable. It's called a field, called number of animals. Anytime an animal is created, this will get incremented. So how is an animal created? The constructors in Python are called inits here. So it's _init and then double score. And technically you can only have one init here, and you would have to create an animal class, in this case, by passing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arguments when it is created. And then you can see how this works. The 7 arguments passed in would correspond to these 7 parameters here in the class, and they would give data to the these fields, right? Species, animal, species, name, age, birth season, color, weight, and originating zoo. So that's basically it. And then hopefully you have already done this, but if you haven't, go ahead and create an animal. So this is how you create an animal. I have this in main for you. Create an animal with 7 arguments. So you can create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these 7 arguments, these are going to correspond to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 parameters here in the animal class. Right, so that's all there is to it. Now we can make this a lot more complicated in a hurry, because we can create a class method, and this is commonly how we will create, or we will implement polymorphism, which means many shapes, in Python. So let's say that we wanted to only create 2. We want to create an animal, but we only want to give it 2 fields when we created it. And let's say we only want to create an animal with a species and a name. So what we could do is we create this class method, and I have some notes for you here on how to create a class method. But notice here, instead of passing around self, which refers to the object that is being created, you're passing around CLS. This CLS is only a variable name here, but it's by convention used for class methods. Anyway, let's look at how we would create this 2 arguments animal. So here I have an animal. I thought I had one. I think I deleted it, but let's create. That's fine. Let's do it down here. Let's create an animal with 2 arguments. So how do we do that? It is just my new animal, assignment operator, class name, animal, and now I'm going to pass in argument, the first argument, and then the second argument. And they're just both string types here, okay? So what I want to do is I want these 2 arguments here to correspond to this class. Oh, I can't do that because this is not Java or C++. This is Python. So I need to use this class. All right, create with species and name only. So let me go back here. So equals animal dot create with species. So it's a method. It is available for me, and it is on the. I'm doing this on the animal class here. So here's my animal class, and I am calling this method, right? And what this should do is this will return with this CLS representing the class here, this will return the species and the name, but this will create an animal. So we think, right? Let's run this. Oh, but now we get this error, right? This says the animal constructor named init is missing 5 positional arguments. That means that I needed another 5. I need 5 more arguments here to get this working. But wait, I thought we did that right here. Well, we did do it right here, but the thing is, this will create an argument, but this init method here of animals is still being called. So the way to get around this, the way to make that two argument animal creation working is this. We need to make optional arguments. So this is the way we do it in Java. So in the init, that's the constructor, notice here in the these are called parameters. In the parameter list, we have assignment operator and then a value. So we've given all of these values, and so this means that if a argument is not passed to match the position here of these parameters, these values will be filled in. So anyway, that's how we get this working. Let's go to main and let's run this. And now we can see, yep, that was created. And my new animal, I had a list going on here somewhere. Let's do this. I should have done this, right? Let's append this to the list. Animals dot append, and it's going to be my new animal, right? So let's append him to the list. Here we go. And now we'll see our 3 animals here, right? Animal 0, animal 1, and then, oh look, see animal 2, it filled in, it was looking for species and name and age. Well, these are pretty strange values for that, right? But if you look, these match here, right? So the ONE 1 or second or 90. Oh, here. Okay, so age was assigned this, and then name, no name. The second, that would have been the second argument passed in. So let's see what we passed in there. So we passed 1 and second. That's so I should have done this to make this make more sense, right? I should have passed in species and a name at least. So let me give this a species and a name here. So we'll say this is a bear, and bear's name is going to be Smokey. So this right here, our animal index 2, our third animal created in main here, should be a bear and Smokey. And he's still going to be 99 years old because we didn't give it any more values. All right, so Bear and Smokey, 99 years old. So the only way to make sense of this is to give yourself different values, right? And you can do the same thing in hyena. The hyena class, you could do the same thing with hyena, but when you're first just getting the stuff working properly, I would recommend leaving that alone and just understanding the constructors here. So another thing that's going on with hyena, because hyena is a subclass of animal. This is how we do this in Java. So we say class and then the class name, and inside the parentheses this is going to be the superclass. So this means hyena is inherited from animal. So what does that mean? This means that all this stuff here in animal is going to belong to a hyena object when it's created. And then we add stuff that is distinct to hyena, like this, a static class variable named num of hyenas. So, we could have num of hyenas in the animal class, but that would really be a pain to increment it. Watch where num of hyenas gets incremented. It gets incremented in the constructor right here. Boom. Hyena dot num of hyenas plus equal 1. So every time a hyena is created, this num of hyenas member variable is going to be incremented, and that's exactly what we want. But let's talk about the constructors here for hyena. So hyena has one constructor, and we have to pass it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to pass it six arguments. So these arguments are going to correspond to these parameters in this constructor, right? So the first parameter we pass in is going to correspond to name. The second one is going to correspond to age. Third one is going to correspond to birth season. Now, look what happens. Here in this constructor, we call the constructor of the superclass the parent class. And we hard code hyena here as the first argument in superclass. Why do we do that? Well, if we go back to animal, you will see the first parameter here is species. So we're in the hyena class. We know that we have created a hyena, so species goes in there. So this is how object-oriented programming works. And then the name, age, birth season, this will be passed in as well, and then we have these attributes set for our new hyena, which is also an animal. So when we create a new hyena, we are incrementing num of hyenas, and we're incrementing num of animals. Let's see, what else is going on here? I created a list of animals. So when you've downloaded this checkpoint, get this little project working here, and create a list of animals, and tinker with this, and add and delete animals, and see what is output. And how do you do this? So I'm in PyCharm. So I created a project in PyCharm called Zoo Practice, and I gave it a location that I knew, and when I gave it the project name, Zoo Practice, PyCharm created a new directory or folder, same thing. So that was it, and then all I do is I put my classes in here, right? Animal, hyena, and main. So again, main dot, oh, and these are all pies, right? So it's just animal.py, but look what's in animal.py. It's just class animal. Hyena.py is, oh, now hyena, if you need animal, which you do, because why? Why did I need animal? Show you why I need it. Oh, because I need to know what the super is. I don't think I can get away with this at all. Oh, because it's from animal, right? All right, let's stop right there. So this is a subclass of animal, so I have to know what animal is. So from the file named animal, import animal. That's how that works. All right, and then let's see, so that's all you need there. Now in main, we are referencing both the animal and the hyena class. Just we're referencing the animal class in main just to create animals and get a handle on how these classes, animal and hyena, are related to each other. When you're doing your actual midterm, you won't need to you won't need animal, but you're going to need the other classes, right? So once you have this working, once you understand this, once you've talked to your lab partners or communicated about this, then you can go on and create those other species classes, lion, tiger, and bear. And like I say, if you need another checkpoint, just send me something. Best way is to send me a communication in Canvas, right, with the inbox on Canvas. So my video is getting a little bit long here. All right, so I'm going to end this video now. I'm going to push this code out to you guys, and hopefully this helps. Like I say, any questions, do your best to get your midterms done, and I'll have you I'll create a discussion and tell me where you are on this, and if you can create your demonstrations, your demos for me, just like I'm doing here. That's what you do. That would be great. Okay. All right. Have a good weekend, class, and communicate with me on Canvas.